Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to be covering Jack Dorsey's tweet that came out last night talking about hyperinflation. I do think this is significant. I'm not a fan of Jack Dorsey. I don't have Twitter. That being said, when somebody like Jack Dorsey comes out and makes a statement like this is not a Robert Kiyosaki, Peter Schiff, nothing against those individuals. You know, congratulations to them for being one of the few people over the last 15 years that has been calling out the real problems that exist within our system. You know, despite the calls they've gotten wrong or right or whatever it may be, their fundamental position was always accurate, and it was a position that many people were not willing to take publicly. But besides that, they've always been calling for this. When we hear this coming from a big tech CEO, it carries a different amount of weight, and it will generate a different response as this continues to go mainstream, in my opinion. Okay, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And then also hitting back on Peter Thiel and what he said the other day about Bitcoin hitting 60K is a sure thing that the decrepit political system is about to implode. I think that we're going to see a shift away from elected officials, and we're going to start to see CEOs take the lead more and more as time goes on. This is just my opinion. Terra has been served by the SEC. I'm going to go over that, and then I'm going to go over what I've been buying over the last few days. So hyperinflation is going to change everything. It's happening. Again, the word hyperinflation carries just an immense amount of weight compared to just saying that we're experiencing inflation. As this continues to go mainstream, I would expect to start to see people panicking and a lot of money being moved here, there, and everywhere. And that's going to cause economic instability. And this does nothing but create the most bullish case imaginable for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I don't like that that's the way that it is, that, you know, hyperinflation, everything is likely on the horizon if we're not already. I don't think we're already there. It depends on how you technically classify hyperinflation, what metrics you're using. But, you know, as I don't like that that's the case, but it is what it is. And it's just the reality of the situation. And, you know, people are going to have to wake up and start doing their own research and make sound decisions for themselves, or they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Going back to what Peter Thiel said the other day, 60K Bitcoin is a sure sign the decrepit political system is about to implode. Again, I highly recommend you go watch this video. It's mind-blowing how accurate he is. And again, like, he was involved in the early stages of Ethereum. But I think that what we're seeing right now is we're starting to see the designed shift from looking towards public officials, elected representatives, all of those people. We're starting to see a shift more towards CEOs taking the lead. Now, in my opinion, they're all one big group, but somebody is going to have to take the fall for what is going to come. And I don't think it's going to be the big billionaires. I mean, there will be people who pin it on them anyways, but I think that we're going to start to see them come out and criticize the elected officials more and more and more, and they're going to start taking the lead as we transition into this new world that we're moving to. Who knows exactly how all this is going to play out? I'm not going to speculate on it any more than that, just because there's so many unknowns. And I genuinely am a little confused on exactly how this is all going to play out. I don't know if we're going to have politicians in 10 years from now, the way that we currently have them today, and the amount of influence and power that they currently have. I don't know if that's going to be the case in 10 years from now. I think that we might start to see the private sector take over. And I may be wrong on that, but the issue with the current amount of legitimacy and credibility that our elected officials has is just going straight down. And if the economy collapses and the dollar collapses, it's going to go all the way down. And what's going to be the solution after that? And in my opinion, it's going to be the private sector stepping in and helping solve all the problems that the politicians created, even though, again, in my opinion, they're all one and the same. So that's just my opinion. Peter Thiel is on the right, Jack Dorsey's on the left, both coming out and saying very similar things about the current state of our economy, of our currency, and what's going to happen, you know, or something's going to happen moving forward. I think they're both making that very clear. Peter Thiel came out and said a while back that he's preparing or expects to see a black swan event. And just keep an eye on the lead that the CEOs are starting to take, because I think this will be a trend. And I think when everything collapses, the private sector will be the ones that step in to kind of save the day, right? So that's just my opinion. Terra's Do Kwon was served by the SEC at a crypto conference. I'm not worried about this. And I'm only going over this because I hold Terra and I've been open that I hold Terra, and I'm not worried about this. So I made my investment in Terra knowing that regulation might be coming because they're so stable coin centered. But at the same time, I'm not worried. So I know how big the stable coin market is. And I know that stable coins are designed to be a part of this new system. And if Terra drops by 15, 20% because of this, I'm just going to buy the dip. Terra is going to burn 10% of their tokens. So I saw that come out. So that's great news for Terra token holders. Now, what I'm buying, this is over the last few days, 300 in XLM. I now have over 14,000 XLM tokens. 270 in AMP. The reason it was 270 is because it came out to be right at 5,000 AMP tokens. Phantom, I finally just bit the bullet and bought Phantom, similar to what I did with Terra. And when Phantom came on Gemini, my Gemini account was locked, so I never looked into it. By the time my Gemini account came back live again, Terra had already done it. Phantom had already done a 2 or 3x. And so I was like, man, I'm going to wait for it to pull back or to go back down a little bit. And it just never did it. And it's just continued to go higher. Once it passed 150, I was like, shit. I was like, I should have bought. And I was like, well, I'm going to wait till it goes back down to 120. And then it goes to $2. And so finally I looked at it and I said, there's a $6 billion fully diluted market cap. Almost all the tokens are already in circulation. They have a growing ecosystem. They do have VC firms backing them. And, Ethereum compatible, I just pulled the trigger. If you see my portfolio, I have a lot of investments in that 300 to 400 to 600 range. And I'm just decided to add Phantom. And if it does pull back down to my original buy-in price, which was like 225, I probably will put another $100 or $200 in. If not, I'm just going to let it ride as is. And I think that if Phantom turns out to be, it turns out to have a lot of functionality and a lot of value that it can add to the users on the Phantom network, I can see it. I can see it going 100x. It only has a $6 billion fully diluted market cap right now, even after it's exploded over the last couple of weeks. So I wanted to add Phantom. I wanted to add Terra Luna. It sucks that I did not get in earlier, but it is what it is. Storage, I told you I was going to get into the cloud storage space. And so I bought $200 in storage. I'll probably add to that a little bit more. I might get this up to 400 or 500 over the next month or so, depending on what happens with the price action. 200 in Ethereum and 150 in Bitcoin. And you might be saying, like, Bitcoin and Ethereum at these prices, I'm just setting aside X amount to continue to dollar cost average into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, that's just where I'm at. I'm not planning on a 90% crash and everything going. If that happens, okay, I'll dollar cost average down there too. But I look at it, okay, what if it doesn't happen? And if it doesn't happen and I don't take advantage of what's going on right now, then I'm beat. And once it goes 2x, 3x, my purchasing power is shot. So I want to continue to try to accumulate Bitcoin and Ethereum on a smaller scale, though, from what I'm doing with the altcoins. So find the altcoins that I'm very bullish on, that I feel like have a lot of upside, and they're what I perceive to be pretty sure things, and then set aside a smaller percentage to continue to dollar cost average into Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's my general thought process behind that. That's all I have for this video. And I just wanted to go over these different things. Yeah. And I wanted to show you what I've been buying recently. Thank you, everyone who's liked, shared, and subscribed. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Take care. Have a good night. I'll see you in the next video.